Namaskara, Vanakkam. You are with the South Indian. I said it earlier and shall repeat it yet again. When it's a question of revival or survival, then everything is fair in politics. It was in July, post the assembly elections, which saw the Congress win a fabulous victory with 135 seats, when ex-Prime Minister and JDS patriarch H.D. Devegowda had said how, for the larger good of Karnataka, his party may join hands with the BJP to push the Congress back in the state legislature. But when he was queried about his party's plans for Lok Sabha elections in 2024, he had said extremely categorically, and I am reading what he had said: whether we, meaning the party, win 5, 6, 3, 2 or 1 seats, we will fight the Lok Sabha elections independently. We will field candidates only in those places where we are strong after consulting with our workers. But in the same vein, when asked if his party will join any alliance to firm up plans for 2024, Devegowda had said, and I quote him, "The party would decide on its action in future based on the prevailing situation. In the interest of a stable government in the country, we will decide according to the situation that emerges at a particular moment in history." Now, after hectic backroom and front room parleys, the day arrived on 22nd of September and an announcement was finally made. The Bharatiya Janata Party and the Janata Dal S or secular have in principle agreed to join hands in Karnataka for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Listen into what H.D. Kumaraswamy had said after meeting with Home Minister Amit Shah.
Today formally we discussed about joining hand with BJP by joining NDA partner. Actually, we have discussed preliminary issues formally. All those outcome will going to be announced at a appropriate time.
And what are your demands? How many?
There is no demand. There is no demand.
Kumaraswamy's father H.D. Devegowda also met with BJP chief J.P. Nadda and Amit Shah to discuss the structure of the alliance. And the ex-chief minister and BJP strongman in Karnataka, B.S. Yadurappa, said that BJP and JDS alliance is now final. Let's listen into what he had said about the alliance.
Happy about that. Devegowda ji met our Prime Minister. Already they have finalized about 4 seats. For that I welcome them. BJP, JDS ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ. 400 ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಸೀಟ್ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಮಿತ್ ಶಾ ಅವರು. ಇದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬಂದಾಗಿದೆ. 26 ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಸೀಟ್ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಗೆಲ್ಲಕ್ಕೆ ಇದರಿಂದ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
You know, after his bite, I kept calling the BJP office in Bengaluru. Someone came on the line but said, we are not going to speak about it. There was this mysterious silence from the Bharatiya Janata Party, as in there was no confirmation from them about the alliance, and then sources told us how both parties were actually waiting to gauge reactions. What is more, it was also being speculated that H.D. Devegowda had driven a very hard bargain and sought 5 Lok Sabha seats, but after much discussion, the JDS was offered 4 seats: Kolar, Hassan, Mandya and Bengaluru rural. But all is not really well within the alliance, because 2 days after the announcement, several leaders from the minority community, including JDS working president M Nabi, Mohid Altaf, Nasir Ustad and spokesperson Noor Ahmed, as well as leaders from Devangere, Mysuru, Ramanagara, Raichur and Tumkuru, met to discuss their way forward within the party. They were all extremely unhappy. The main grouse, of course, is the deep ideological clash between JDS and BJP. You know, JDS, that S stood like a monolithic stone, in between BJP and JDS. M Nabi said after emerging from the party, and I am quoting Mr. Nabi here, "We've held a meeting to express our unhappiness over the alliance. We are hurt by the decision." That is what he had said. So, lot of voices which were protesting, particularly minority leaders from JDS. Let's not forget that they were the pillars actually, apart from the Vokkaliga support, these were actually salt of the earth who would vote for this regional party headed by H.D. Devegowda. Now, let us listen to what HDK's son and JDS State Youth President Nikhil Kumaraswamy said on the alliance, and also the leaders who were exiting one after the other the party.
As we all know now, JDS and BJP is a part of NDA Alliance. So on that basis, Mr. Yediyurappa ji is one of the tallest leaders today in Karnataka, which we all know. So I just came here to take his blessings personally. So we always share a good bonding. In fact, 2006 and 7 government, when BJP and JDS collated, at that time, H.D. Kumaraswamy's tenure as Chief Minister has given a lot of programs, and so did Yediyurappa ji in his tenure. So I have great regards on Yediyurappa ji, so I came here to take his blessings. I think there are around 3 or 4 people who have showed their disregards, but later on probably we'll sit and have a discussion on that, right? As of now, I don't want to comment on that.
When all these leaders from the Janata Dal secular, mainly minority leaders, they met up, it triggered an open rebellion resulting in several resignations from the JDS. The first to quit was JDS spokesperson from Bengaluru, UT Ayesha Farzana. Then came Karnataka unit senior vice president Syed Shafiullah, and then Shivamogga General Secretary M Srikanth, who also put in his papers. Rumors are rife that more resignations will follow. For instance, like MLAs Sharangauda Kandakur from Gurmiktal and Nemiraj Nayak as well. Now, listen in to what former JDS Vice President Shafiullah said as to why did he quit JDS. Listen.
Since about 25 to 30 years I am with the party. Our party is standing on certain principles of secularism, and we have always propagated the principles of secularism to the voters, to the general public, and whenever we have been to the voters asking for their votes, we have always told them we stand on the secular principles and we work for all and we consider all the people equally. Now, if my party is joining hands with a party which creates rift between the communities and castes, like what they have done in Gujarat in 2002 and in Manipur and various other places in the country where double engine is working. And even in Karnataka, when double engine Sarkar was there, when the BJP was ruling in the center and the BJP itself was ruling in the state, they created havoc in Karnataka by raising issues such as hijab, azan, halal, jatka, and opposing to the people doing small businesses. Wherever Muslims are doing any business near any mandir or temple, the BJP used to oppose and support the people who oppose them. Hence, I think that's not the way our India should progress, and it will be detrimental to the progress of our country. Hence, the secular forces are not going to abide or agree with the BJP, which creates rift between the people.
Sir, how many?
For your information, all the people or all the parties other than the BJP who are in disagreement with the BJP right from when they are existing. Hence, anybody joining hands with the BJP, they only join, but all others will have different mind setup. So among them, how many are trying to come out because our party has joined hands with them? Most of them, I think. Even if it is for survival, the people, most of the people like me find difficult to adjust with that kind of mental setup and that kind of propagation of hate in the country.
The disturbance in the newly formed alliance between the JDS and BJP has had a cascading effect on neighbouring Kerala, and the JDS state unit president Matthew T. Thomas said extremely clearly, the state unit won't join the NDA. We don't know why the national leadership decided to join hands with the BJP. The party's professed stand was to fight both the BJP and the Congress. The party fought the assembly elections in Karnataka accordingly. Afterwards, the national executive of the party did not adopt a different approach. We are not party to the latest decision to join the NDA. It's not as if only the JDS leaders are extremely unhappy with the alliance. Even in the BJP, there are now murmurs of protest about how they should approach the Lok Sabha elections with opponents who have now turned allies. Can we call this the biggest blunder by Deve Gowda, even as he faces the twilight years of a life spent in politics? Before we start the discussion, we are going to be joined by experts. Here's what the opposition Congress had to say about this alliance.
There is nothing surprising, because if you saw how BJP was moving lethargically after losing the election in Karnataka, it was very evident that this BJP central leadership has lost their complete confidence in the state leadership. That is why they did not even name an opposition leader in the upper house nor in the lower house. Now it is very, very evident that Janata Dal Secular is their primary partner, and BJP has become the B team for JDS. And more importantly, I think the Janata Dal people should write to the Election Commission and just drop the word secular.
You know, it seems like the alliance was in troubled waters even the day when Yediyurappa spoke with the central leadership and also, you know, invited HDK and had a discussion with Deve Gowda. It's like things are going to perhaps go from bad to worse, because look at the number of resignation, and that's what the South Indian is going to be asking today. Look at that. Resignations galore in JDS after alliance with the BJP. Let me now welcome the guests who are joining us on the show. Professor Chambi Puranik, political analyst, is joining us. T.R. Prasad Gowda, spokesperson for the JDS, is joining us. Vijay Prasad from the BJP is also spokesperson for the party, has joined us, and Dr. Baswaraj Itnal, senior journalist. A very, very warm welcome to all of you. I would first like to go to the JDS spokesperson T.R. Prasad Gowda. May I please have him on the screen? Thank you. There he is. Namaskara sir, how are you?
Fine madam, fine.
So you tell me.
Fine madam.
Yeah, so you know, just now you formed an alliance, and look at the number of resignations you've had. All mostly very tall minority leaders have said goodbye to you. It is because they have said we heard Mr. Shafiullah also. On the one hand, you talk about socialism, you talk about secularism, and then you go and shake hands with the BJP, which is of course a party which is perceived to be based on the fulcrum of Hindutva. Don't you think that losing all those leaders is really something? It is not only bad for the party, it also creates a wrong perception about you.
Madam, we are trying to convince all our minority leaders that of course definitely they all will be convinced, because we remain secular. We have told them we will remain secular. Though we joined hands with BJP, we will remain secular, and the interest of the minority community will be safeguarded at any cost. You know, that is our agenda.
How are you convincing them? How are you? What is the method? I mean, going and talking to them, I think surely Mr. Kumaraswamy must have called them up. What is the method now, or are you saying, Mr. Gowda, that you may call off the alliance also?
Still our party president is minority community leader only, is Mr. C.M. Ibrahim,
yes.
Former central minister. He was with Devegowda ji when he was Prime Minister, and till today he is with us. And the last elections, he only headed the elections, and he is he will be with us, and he never have any problem. And similarly, we are convincing other leaders also, and there's no
But it's bad news
problem,
for you, Mr.
though,
Gowda.
even though we are joining and
Yeah, I know, but it's bad news for you, isn't it? Because you've always stood by farmers, you've always spoken about secularism. This exiting of very,
we
very
are the
senior
people.
leaders, they have done a lot of hard work, sir. Don't you think it's terrible for your party at this juncture?
No, they will not leave, madam. They may be having that perception in their mind, but we are sure that we are going to convince our party president Ibrahim himself is convincing all other leaders that we will remain intact and that nobody will go anywhere because our leader they know who is how is Devegowda ji and how is Kumar Swamy ji. And they are the people who are, and we are
Right,
the people.
okay. But I find that very
recorded.
strange because then you should have acted before rather than having this afterthought. I mean, everyone has spoken about it. Vijay Prasad, look at the image, look at the perception about your party. Your party really needs to now bounce back, considering that you had Karnataka under your belt for the longest time. You've also given, Karnataka politics tall leaders. There is no doubt, like Mr. Yedurappa. The point is, look at this perception that we don't want to be with them, because even this senior Saifullah ji said, they speak about hijab, they speak about halal, they speak about jatka, they speak about, I have come and, covered lot of stories in Karnataka where Muslim shopkeepers, poor thing, all their things were thrown away. What is your comment on this? Do you think this is paranoia, or how does it work for you?
Good evening, Sudha.
Hi.
See, another Prime Minister. See, the alliance between JDS and BJP is for the larger interest of the people of Karnataka. The JDS has understood the leadership of Modi ji, and they firmly believe that we are there. If they form an alliance with BJP, their interest to serve the people of Karnataka will also be met. Having said that, the alliance between BJP and JDS is a strategic move, and it's quite complex and also a dynamic one. So, having said that, the idea is to consolidate our Vakkalita and Lingayat votes, which also form almost 30 to 32% of the
But
population.
then these leaders have left.
Right? Okay.
Vijay Prasad, these leaders have left.
I will tell you.
Please, let's come to the point. No, sir, if you tell me
I'll come to the
lessons,
point.
I mean, I would request you to
It is not the
kindly.
lesson. No.
Sir, 4 guests are
No,
there. I
is it-
need to give others time also, no, Vijay?
Yeah,
Please be
so,
kind to me. Don't do
I-
this.
Yeah. I know. See, Sudha, when you are taking up such an important matter like, say,
Arey, it's
alliance
okay.
between BJP
I mean,
and
yeah.
JDS. So we need to bring out certain points which actually drives and into the minds of people why this alliance was required. See, this alliance was required in the larger interest of the state, keeping in mind the long-term aspirations of the people of Karnataka. That is one thing.
Okay.
The second most important, this alliance was necessary because of the failure of the Congress government in
All
Karnataka.
right. Okay, I got your point. I got it.
Within-
Professor
within-
Puranik
within
and
3 months.
Dr. Itnal. Dr. Itnal, I want to come to you. If you remember, see, Ibrahim ji was made the president, CM Ibrahim, with the intent of garnering minority votes, but that did not happen. And today there are rumors are rife. Let me tell you, our reporters on the ground are extremely, News9 and TV9 reporters are very, very kind of thorough. They are saying Mr. Ibrahim is also very unhappy with what has happened. So, do you think that after making him president and taking this step, don't you think it has all come to naught? It's been counterproductive, Dr. Itnal.
I have not seen any stronger opponent to communal politics than Same Ibrahim.
Yes.
If you if you listen to his speeches, he quotes all vachanas of Basavanna better than Lingayats because he has studied in Lingayat institutions and he has that culture in him. So he is fundamentally opposed to the communal politics, communal ideology of BJP, and I have not seen anybody stronger and more vociferous than him so far. Having said that, let us understand the evolution of JDS. This actually started, way back during Janata Party regime, how it was supposed to be an anti-Congress forum. And then that Janata Party became Janata Dal. And Janata Dal became again an anti-Congress, VP Singh as Prime Minister with BJP support. And next time when they came back as United Front, they had Congress external support. And during those days, this entire Janata Dal started disintegrating. It broke into ABP-JD, JDU, JDS, and JDS was, cultivated by Sri Devegowda as a political party alternative to Congress, but not opposed, alternative to Congress, but opposed to communal politics. That is why JDS always vote share came from the Congress vote base only. Farmers, Dalits, and Muslims.
Yeah, you're absolutely.
They were competitors for Congress vote base only.
Right, but
so that is why lots of Muslim leaders found an alternative political forum in JDS.
Yeah. So,
for example, this Shafiullah, he has been very, very vociferous, critic of communal politics. I have been seeing him for the last 20-25 years.
Right. So, he gave me a very good talking point, Dr. Itnal. Let me say hello to you, Professor. So, Professor Puranik.
Can I have one more?
Yeah, please go ahead, Dr. Itnal.
So now what has happened is, now when this alliance is happening, when the state unit of BJP is down and JDS is also down, but the leaders go and shake hands with BJP at a time when a Muslim MP is given choicest of abuses by another fellow MP of BJP on the floor of the House in Lok Sabha. Now, in this context, how would any Muslim leader from JDS would go and shake hands? Because that incident that happened a few days ago in the parliament, Danish Ali was one-time confidant of Devegowda ji. He was a trusted man of Devegowda ji, some time ago. And that man is abused in such a way on the floor of the House that has legitimized hatred.
Absolutely. Normalized hatred. You're absolutely right. Yes. It is a shame.
In such a scenario, can CM Ibrahim go to BJP? Can Shafiullah go to BJP? Can any Muslim leader go to BJP? Unless the party takes a strong action on the concerned MP, Ramesh Mithuri. So, this is, now what has happened is, now the so-called regional party of JDS, from Janata Party to Janata Dal to JDS, sub-regional party it has reduced to, and then a party and a family politics party it has reduced to. Now it is going to be a drop in the ocean of NDA.
Right. Professor Puranik, Vijay, just give me, let me say hello to Professor, then I'll come to you. Professor Puranik, you've been listening to this. I've always seen in debates, you have always had high hopes from the JDS. You say, do not discount, but look at it today. Don't you think that after they have shaken hands with the BJP and what Dr. Itnal said, where the way Danish Ali was abused, it was abuse, gali, all kinds of bad words that he used, and the response was also very lukewarm, let me tell you. So, the thing is that, don't you think that the perception, JDS has really taken a beating before it could even start work on 2024, the steam has gone out of it. Would you agree?
Yeah, partly I agree with you, because JDS being a secular party and also Muslims having stood by Mr. Devegowda, and the history Mr. Ethnal just now narrated about its evolution, split and further split, and all this, taking into consideration. Now, ultimately, it is not ideology that guides the political parties, be it Congress, be it BJP or any other party, except the leftist parties. When Jyoti Basu was offered prime ministership, he did not come forward. He said it is not a stable thing, and our party Politburo has decided. So that kind of political loyalty or solidarity is not there in any other political party. Even BJP also has got high command, because it's ruling for the last 9 years. The high command seems to be very powerful, and I mean it is also the kind of reality that is there. But now, Sudha, my question to you is, what is the alternative left for JDS to fight against Congress and BJP alone? I think it's difficult. Perhaps it will not solve the purpose, because the kind of situation in which they were reduced. They had only one seat, and even that seat is also under litigation now. That particular seat.
Yes.
So the alternative for JDS, after all, political parties, ideology and the kind of loyalty towards principles.
Sir, I totally agree with you, sir. You are right. The ideology and all does not matter. But if JDS has to survive, sir, if JDS wanted to survive, this is not the way to survival. It is actually they are skidding, and they may just go into the abyss. Because even before they could say Shri Ganeshaya Nama, 4 people have left, more people are going to leave. This is not the way to survival, Professor Saab.
So the one point you must take into consideration, the ground realities. Now, the only alternative for JDS is to rebuild the party and consolidate the Vakaliga base. The BJP is already considered as Lingayat supported party. Now, from that point of view. But JDS, apart from minorities, it has got OBCs also. And even Muslims, they did not vote for JDS in the way that it happened in 2018. That has not come true.
All right.
So, Kumaraswamy or Devegowda, they always stood by Muslims in all the whatever the kind of allegations or in the kind of discrimination JDS.
No, but recently HD Kumaraswamy also said, we've done so much for the minority community. What did they do for us? So it seems like he's moved on. He's moved on also. You are right. He is someone who is an opportunist. But the point is, how does it work in the minds of people who go and vote, sir? It's a very different thing from what the way politicians think and the voters. No. I'll come to you. Vijay is waiting. Professor Saab, I'll come to you. Vijay, go ahead. Tell me.
Yeah, see, Sudha, I have been hearing about the other panelist saying about the word secular, and BJP is not secular, it's only communal. See, I would like to ask these people, the other panelists, one question. What do you mean by secular? See, if at all, in the last 10 years, the Modi government has taken into consideration all the communities together under Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas,
Sabka Vishwas. I know.
Okay.
I just answer what Mr. Biduri did. No, you are actually pointing towards Dr. Itnal. I'll tell you what, Vijay Prasad, and I'm giving you, please be patient with me, sir. I'm kindly requesting you. Do you ratify what Biduri told Danish Ali on the floor of the house, calling him horrible names? Then you will prove that's the.
I will also answer that. See, I will also answer that, and I have there are things to answer those questions also. See, having said that, see, these people, the Congress has alliance with the Tukde gang. So they have
what all are you say, Vijay Prasad? I think you need to really. I'm sorry, Vijay. Tukde gang has nothing to do. You have an alliance with JDS. Please focus on it. Mr. Gowda, if I can have Vijay, this is not the way to take over a debate where you want to put all the bullet points. If someone asks me, do you want India to be Bharat and Bharat to be India? I cannot say Jambu Dvipa. Then something is really, I need to focus on stuff. Sir, I'm requesting you, sir. Vijay Prasad ji, please focus. Tukde gang, then you'll say JNU. Been there, done that. Mr. Gowda, tell me something. there is no clarity as yet on this show. I have been speaking, I have been requesting Vijay Prasad ji, but he doesn't seem to be focusing on it. I am asking you, if this kind of thing goes on, if more and more Muslim leaders leave, you see what will happen, which has also happened, you know, this time, that the votes will go to the Congress so far as the minorities are concerned. Not that it has not happened, it has already happened. It has already happened during recent elections, where Congress won almost half of the 65 constituencies. I hope I am right when I am saying this, you know. So, the JDS anyway drew a blank, they got nothing, they got a cipher. So, I am saying that lot of people are feeling that, you know, we will lose 3000 to 4000 votes in many constituencies which are Muslim dominated, Mr. Gowda. Doesn't that worry you? Because Vokkaliga has already slowly moved to DKS. Mr. Gowda, I think we've lost him. Yeah, he'll come back. He'll come back. Dr. Itnal, I want to come to you. In turns, Vijay. In turns, Vijay. We need to wait our turn, Vijay Prasad. Not on my show, Vijay. Please, Vijay.
I know, because
on my show, not possible. No, I will not fight. Because this much fighting itself, I have to drink water. I am not used to it.
Sudha, see,
I'm going to doctor, and don't school me. Vijay Prasad, don't school me. I am much older than you, don't school me. I have seen enough regimes. Dr. Itnal, I am asking you that the fear of, you know, this vote bank of minorities actually moving en masse to the Congress, I mean, that is something, because what is the JDS left with? See, the BJP, still it has, like Professor said, you know, some Lingaites will perhaps vote for the BJP. But the point is, the Vokkaliga base has also eroded, Dr. Itnal. With Muslims also, it happened during assembly elections, no? The Muslims moved, the minorities moved from JDS to the Congress. Don't you think, let's speak just electorally. Don't you think this is, look at the perception, they'll say, oh, they formed it yesterday, today they are fighting, 4 people have already left. Don't you think it is going to prove really detrimental for this alliance, Dr. Itnal?
It is suicidal for both JDS and BJP. Because it can be, because what happens is, because of JDS alliance, lot of Vokkaliga leaders like Ashok, Ashwath Narayana and others in BJP will feel insecure. Because suddenly they will feel their position as Vokkaliga leaders of BJP is threatened. So that's one thing. Another thing is, almost all Muslim leaders are going to desert JDS, and where else will they go? They will go to Congress. Number 2. Number 3, this alliance, JDS going to NDA, will only be seen by the common men, common people, common voters as the last ditch effort to hold on to some semblance of power by Gowda family, nothing more than that. So that, such being the case, people are not going to be kind to this alliance, and within parties also, both JDS and BJP will suffer because of infighting. And lastly, I just wanted to correct Vijay Prasad about this Tukde gang. There was an RTI application to the Home Ministry a few years ago regarding this Tukde gang. And the Mr. Amit Shah, who is the Home Minister, his ministry gave an RTI reply that there is no such thing in the country. So I don't think we should be using that term at all.
I know, I mean, it was coined by some anchor, you know, who only shouted all the time. What is all this? This is like, you know, it is like things which, like, remember Dr. Itnal, for the longest time, if we asked you, do you have an Almirah at home? He says, yeah, I have Godrej. Godrej is not an Almirah, it's a brand. But we never understood. We always said, I am going to buy Godrej Almirah, then I will, buy some Raja Almirah. So it's Tukde has become like that. I mean, by the way, I have, if Mr. Vijay Prasad is there, let me also, you know, I'm just, the AIADMK, everyone has now said bye-bye to the alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party in Tamil Nadu. This was brewing. Annamalai came out and tried to salvage the situation, but it has happened. They are not even going to wait for 2024. And just briefly, amongst other things, the main bone of contention was ideology. This is a Dravidian party, and that's a party which speaks just the opposite of what they are supposed to do. Mr. Gowda is back. Vijay, I'll come to you. Mr. Gowda, are you there? Ah, there you are. Mr. Gowda, if you know, we lost connection to you. I want to ask you, Mr. Gowda, that, you know, let's talk about all the policies as well. You know, if you go, suppose you call the leaders back. You know, what will be the common minimum program of yours and BJP's? Because, you know, on hijab, on halal, and on every other issue, you have always spoken against the Bharatiya Janata Party. How do you look at, what will you say?
Yeah, we will sit together, madam. We will sit together. Just now we come together, and we will sit together, and we will definitely formulate the thing how to do it and all. It need to be discussed. Need to be discussed thoroughly, and definitely we know our partners will oblige that. And as far as Muslim leaders are concerned, which is the hot topic today. And hopefully nobody will going to leave us, and we are on the talk, and all our Muslim leaders are convinced, and they are said this because after our Devagowda ji spoke to them, they said they will remain with us, and no, they are all intact.
All right,
and,
all right. Yeah, Vijay, I've got 4 minutes left. Let me go to Vijay Prasad and then to Professor. I'm sorry, I'm running out of time. Vijay, you know, tell me something, that if they get the Muslim leaders back, what do you see the alliance taking you? You said we are going to defeat the Congress. The Congress has not performed well. The government is really been underperforming. But apart from that, what is your plan for Karnataka if you want to give 3 points? Because hijab halal you've already done. So what else? I mean, on cow slaughter also, bill also you differ from what the JDS is saying. On you know, NEP also, NEP also you differ. So what will be the salient points on which you will keep this alliance going, Vijay Prasad?
See, Sudha, you should allow me to complete my points, and you should not put hurdles to my whatever the things I am saying. See, this alliance is in for the larger interest of the people of Karnataka. That is one thing, and people have a hell a lot of faith on the leadership of Modi ji. And if only Modi can deliver the aspirations of the people of India and the people of Karnataka. So, and we have seen in the last 3 months, within 100 days of the Congress government, how the Congress government has started strangling.
You said that before, Vijay. What is your plan for the people of Karnataka? Because you had a very good run as a party. So, with the alliance, Vijay Prasad, what will you be focusing on?
Tell me, in the last 100 days of the Congress government, do you think the administration is really there? And today, because of the attitude of the Congress government, the Raitas and the people have come to the streets to asking for the Kaveri water. You imagine such a sensitive topic, and the way the people and the way the Congress government have handled this situation is really pathetic.
Yeah, accept it. That is because it's been going on for centuries. You are absolutely right, and there has been no solution. Professor Puranik, I want to ask you, what is when the alliance comes together, what are the pockets which are left with this alliance? Vocaligas have depleted, as you know, Muslims are leaving. What will this alliance do, sir?
I think, you know, it's a very clever or opportunistic decision taken by Mr. Devagowda to go with BJP, one. Number two, as you mentioned in the beginning, it's for survival. You know, what is the alternative? I mean, can they go with Congress? It is not there because Mr. Devagowda was not invited for the preliminary alliance talks about India and all that, even for swearing in ceremony, unlike the previous euphoria or the image they created. So he was insulted. The third thing is the Vocaliga votes have gone to some extent because of Mr. D.K. Shikumar's possibility of becoming a chief minister. Now that there are different kind of strategies or internal kind of opposition to that, having 3 deputy chief ministers or 6 or whatever it is,
Rajana,
they are trying they are trying to dilute that. So the particular aspect of hopes of D.K. Shikumar, Vocaliga becoming a chief minister in the Congress, I think they are diminishing. So therefore, there is a possibility of realigning or consolidating Vocaliga votes from the leadership of Mr. Devagowda, who is the tallest leader. Like Yediyurappa for Lingaites. I think Devegowda
Yeah,
is
but
considered.
provided there are no more, because we are hearing that there are going to be more resignations, and not just from the JDS, also BJP.
Coming to your point of Muslims resigning and Muslim leaders, definitely it is a setback for BJP. How they are going to, rectify this or pacify them and all that. The very fact that CM Ibrahim, a very shrewd politician who is a very great popular orator, he is keeping silent. That means to show that there are certain internal kind of adjustments that are going to take place. The fourth is, Sudha, see, BJP as a party will support JDS not only in terms of sharing the seats 3 or 4, even otherwise BJP is not in a position to give more than 3 or 4 seats to JDS. So therefore, it's a marriage of convenience.
Yes.
So that's the particular angle. In politics, ground realities and survival politics.
Yeah, that happens, but Professor, my fear is this marriage of convenience, they will not be able to keep the pretense for very long, because the resignations have happened very 22nd, they said they came out. Now look at today, it's 25th, right? Today or 25th, and it's already happened. So my fear is this alliance before it started has ended, but if it goes on, it's only going to be terrible. It's like a bad marriage. I mean, you can pretend only that much. If the marriage is bad, no one can save it, except perhaps a judge in a court who can give freedom to one of the parties. Thank you so much. All of you have completely run out of time. Vijay Prasad, Professor Puranik, Dr. Itnal, and also Mr. Gowda. Thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. Thank you indeed. And the big show at 10 p.m. today, Duologue, TV9's Barun Das will be in a candid conversation with Z's Subhash Chandra. Just don't miss it, because you're going to hear a lot of interesting aspects in that interview, some revelations and some points that you can actually think about. So don't miss it.
How do you see the role of Mr. Kejriwal?
I doubt that Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal can do any good to this nation.
You don't trust your employees.
If they go out of their mind, better they leave.
A person like Rajat Sharma or Sudhi Chaudhary, do you feel it would have been better for your cause if they had stayed back?
Duologue with Barun Das, featuring Dr. Subhash Chandra. World premiere on Connected TV. Tonight at 10. Only on News9 Live. India's first and only digital exclusive English news stream for Connected TV. Supported by Alliance Broadband.
You know, it is usually said that people like us, like you and the South Indian, we can never be cheated. Wrong, you know, absolutely wrong, because this case of cheating and deception made me sit up and I thought, no, actually, like I said, I wasn't shocked by the crime committed, but the people involved in it. Three things stand out in this web of crime. First, it happened in the IT hub of India. Where? Bengaluru. Second, it was committed by two white-collared people and both women. And third, the complainant is none other than the author and Infosys Foundation chairperson, Dr. Sudha Murthy. It's a case of misusing her name, and it was misused to deceive people in two separate instances. Apparently, Sudha Murthy was invited to attend the 50th anniversary of the Kannada Kuta of Northern California, also known as KKNC. Her office received an email invitation for the event on the 5th of April. But then her office wrote back on 26th April, to be very precise, regretting that Dr. Sudha Murthy perhaps cannot participate owing to some other reasons. Sounds very simple, yeah, it happens, but this is where things became complicated. After her inability to attend the Kannada Kuta event, Sudha Murthy was surprised to find her pictures and also a video which announced that she shall be the chief guest for the event. How is that possible? Think, you've already said no, I am not coming, and then suddenly you see that you are being, there is propaganda that you are going to be the chief guest. Sudha Murthy and her staff noticed an advertisement which mentioned meet and greet with Dr. Sudha Murthy on 26th of September, which is tomorrow. The advertisement also of course mentioned that she would preside over the event as the chief guest, and tickets were also sold under this claim. Cheating, deception. Sudha Murthy then approached KKNC organizers, who in turn told her that someone called Lavanya, who claimed to be Murthy's personal assistant, had confirmed her presence for the program. Now, what this Lavanya did was, after claiming to be a staff of the Murthy Trust, she confirmed Sudha Murthy's participation at the event in California of her own volition. She does not work with the Murthys at all. Also, there was yet another woman called Shruti, who reportedly collected $40 from those who thought they were paying for an audience and an event in which Dr. Sudha Murthy shall be the chief guest. So, they were super excited and they paid. And please, ladies and gentlemen, so far Sudha Murthy had nothing to do with these two ladies. The Jayanagar police has registered a case under section 419 and 420, which is cheating, of the Indian Penal Code, and section 66C, 66D of the Information Technology Act at the behest of a complaint made by Sudha Murthy's real executive assistant Mamata Sanjay, and subsequently booked the two women, Lavanya as well as Shruti. So, you know what, like we say that, you know, it doesn't happen to people who are really erudite and who are actually very, very tech savvy, but look at this, a case of cheating and a case of deception. But of course, thank God Dr. Murthy now has made a complaint, and I hope that this case will be dealt with. Let us move on to the other story, and this is coming from Kerala. After 11 days of online classes and more than a month of Nipah outbreak in Kerala, Kozhikode will return to normalcy today, as several educational institutions including Anganwadi and professional colleges have started functioning. Students and teachers are mandatorily required to use sanitizers and masks when they attend classes. Remember, we all went through the pandemic. The health minister said, that is Veena George, that as there have been no new cases of Nipah in the district for the past 8 days, educational institutions can open up, but with extremely strict surveillance measures in place. The areas where life is getting back to track include 9 Grama Panchayats in the Vadakara Taluk. Even as life limps back to normalcy, shops have been given permission to operate till 8 p.m. while banks and treasuries are allowed to function till 2 p.m. It may be recalled that the virus was first detected in early August, and apart from 6 cases, Kerala also witnessed 2 unfortunate deaths during this bout. The first action for controlling Nipah and going by past precedents was to clamp a complete shutdown, which included not only isolating the affected talukas in Kozhikode, but also maintain a strict vigil. There were nearly 900 people on the contact list, and therefore, even as many schools have opened, colleges as well as schools in the containment zone will remain closed. Please note that, and they will continue to function online. Therefore, even as some schools began classes today, there are strict instructions for students from containment zones to remain in their homes, stay safe, and continue with online classes. That's all the South Indian has today. Stay well. Vanakkam, Namaskaram. But 10 p.m. tonight, don't miss the duologue between Borun Das and Subhash Chandra of Z. You're really going to like it immensely. South Indian promises you. Stay well.
How do you see the role of Mr. Kejriwal?
I doubt that Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal can do any good to this nation.
You don't trust your employees.
If they go out of their mind, better they leave.
A person like Rajat Sharma or Sudhi Chaudhary, do you feel it would have been better for your cause if they had stayed back?
Duologue with Parun Das, featuring Dr. Subhash Chandra. World premiere on Connected TV. Tonight at 10. Only on News9 Live. India's first and only digital exclusive English news stream for Connected